Thank you for clicking on this tutorial. Because you're here, that tells me that you want to learn how to do the half double crochet. I do have part one, lesson one in this series. Before this one, this is lesson two. If you have not yet learned how to do a foundation chain and a foundation row and single crochet, please look for my lesson one on that and then proceed to this one. But if you already know how to do that and you're just wanting to see how to do a half double crochet, then continue on and join me in this. I'm happy to have you as a part of this channel, and if you have not already liked and subscribed, please do so, and let's continue on teaching you how to do a half double crochet. All right, when you're ready, let's begin. We're going to make our slip knot that goes over our crochet hook. Showed you that in lesson one, so I'll just do it quickly here. We're going to make a foundation chain of 15 chains. Also showed you that in lesson one, so I just did that quickly. Now, when I taught you how to do a single crochet, we said that we needed to make sure that this first chain, that this first chain here was counted as chain one for our turning chain, and then we did our single crochet into our second chain from the hook. For a half double crochet, you want to do the same thing. You're going to skip this first chain, that's going to count as your chain one, and you're going to half double crochet into the second chain from your hook. So we're going to, in order to do a half double crochet, we're going to yarn over, we're going to go into that second chain from your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull it through that chain. We've got 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops. That's your first half double crochet. Let's go again. We're going to yarn over, go through that next chain, yarn over, bring that yarn through that chain. We've got 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops. That's our second half double crochet. Okay, let's do that again. Yarn over, go into that next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3 chains, yarn over, pull through. So now we've done 3 half double crochets. We're going to take our stitch marker and we're going to put it in that first half double crochet. So as you learned from our first video, when we get back to that end, we know what our last stitch is, okay? So let's continue that on down our foundation row. Okay, I'll do it with you. Yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3 on your hook. Yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and go through all 3. I love the half double crochets. Oh, that tongue tied. I love the half double crochet stitch. I think it's beautiful. When you're making a dishcloth, a half double crochet stitch makes a beautiful dishcloth. It's one of my favorite stitches for a dishcloth, actually. So something for you to keep in mind once you get comfortable with this stitch. You might want to make that as your first project, okay? Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. This one's just a little bit taller than the single crochet, next in line for height, and the one after this will be a double crochet. But for now, we're going to work on our half double crochet and get comfortable with making that, okay? We're coming to the end of our row. We've got 2 more stitches left. Again, it's like what we learned in our first lesson. You use that first chain that you made in your foundation row of 15, you use the first chain as your turning chain, and then you worked up 14 half double crochets. So there are 14 stitches in this swatch, in this row. If you count these little V's at the top, you'll have 14 little V's. Okay, that means 14 stitches. And we're going to do the same thing on this end that we needed to do on the other end. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work like we're turning the pages of a book. Okay, let me get some yarn out of my ball. Then we're going to do 2 or 3 half double crochets, yarn over, go into that first space, that first little hole that you see there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3 loops on your hook, and we're going to continue on down the row. I've got 3 half double crochets completed, so I'm going to find my stitch marker. I'm going to put it in that first stitch so that I know that that's the end of the row when I come back that way, and I'm going to keep going on down my row. Yarn over, go into that next stitch, make sure there's 2 bars so that you're under the full stitch. Yarn over, bring it through that stitch, make sure you put all 3 bars to the back of your hook so they're all evenly sized. Yarn over and go through all 3 loops on your hook. We have made it to the end of our second row. We have 2 stitches left. We're going to yarn over, go into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and go through all 3. And then we're going to go into our last stitch, yarn over, go through that stitch, pull out your yarn marker there, your stitch marker, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and go through all 3 loops on your hook. And you have just finished your second row of half double crochet. Okay, so now we're going to yarn over and chain 1. Turn our work like we're turning the pages of a book, and let's continue on. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go into that first stitch. We're going to yarn over, draw up a loop. We've got 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through all 3 hooks. That's our first half double crochet in our third row. Yarn over, go into that next stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So by now you're getting the hang of it, I am sure, and you're probably having some fun doing it with a little bit of frustration because it's your first time. But keep persevering, my friends, because you know what? Once you get it, you get it, and you're going to learn your tension. You're going to learn how to hold the yarn. You're going to just get in your own groove, and it's going to become something that you really find enjoyment in doing. And yeah, I just know it. I know you will. If you've clicked on this video because you wanted to learn crochet, then you have a joy in crafting, and you have a desire to learn. So if you're learning this, just keep persevering. Don't give up on the first few wonky stitches because you will get it. If you would have seen my crochet at the beginning when I first started, oh my goodness, I had uneven stitches too, and I had tight stitches and loose stitches and crooked rows because I didn't use the stitch markers properly, and yeah, we all go through the growing learning curve of crochet. So keep persevering and you will get it. Okay, so we went into our last stitch. I'm going to remove that stitch marker. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to turn my work, and we're going to do 1 more row together. Okay, so I'm going to yarn over, go into that space which is my stitch, yarn over, go through all 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. Okay, and you're going to keep doing that until you get to the end of your row, and when you get to the end of the row, see me back. All right, have fun, my friends. All right, so you should be on the end of the row that we left off on, and I went ahead and continued a little bit more, so I had a wider swatch to work with. I think I've got 8 rows here now. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish off this row together. I'm going to yarn over, just like what we've been doing. So now you've learned how to single crochet and half double crochet. If you want to continue learning, just look for my next video. For lesson 3, we're going to be learning double crochet, okay? And after the double crochet, we're going to learn how to treble crochet. So it's a great time to learn. It's once you learn the first 2 stitches, the single crochet and the the chain first is the first one that you learned, the chain, how to make a chaining foundation. Then the single crochet, then the half double crochet. The next one in height is the double crochet, and that's a fun one too. So the more you learn, the more you practice, the better you'll get at it, and you're going to be making great projects in no time flat. I just know it. Okay, so you're going to cut off that yarn. You're going to pull that end through, tie it off. You're going to take your needle, wherever my needle is. There we go. And we're going to hide our end. So I turn it to the back, and I just go under this row. Okay, don't want to pull it so tight so that it distorts your corner there. You just want to put it in there so that it's loose, so that it's right up against your project, but not so that it's pulling on any stitches. Okay, so I just do it so it's just hidden beautifully like that. Take your scissors, cut it off. I'm going to do that for the other end too, where we started. Okay, go underneath some stitches. Oops, off camera, sorry. I'm going to go up a little bit so I have some more meat to get under, so to speak. Okay, so then I'm going to go under this row of stitches, just 2 or 3. Bring it back. Because it's a swatch, I wouldn't have to go the second time, but I want you to learn. So I'm going to go back underneath that row of stitches, pull that so it fits in there with the stitches, but it doesn't pull on anything to affect the look of the stitch. Okay, cut that off. And you've got your swatch of half double crochets. All right, so way to go, my friends. That was great. I'm thankful glad that you joined me. I hope that you enjoyed learning that new stitch. It's half double crochet, again, is a stitch that you will use often in your projects as you grow in your ability to crochet. This is one that you're gonna, if you're like me, you're gonna fall back on the half double crochet a lot because it really is a beautiful stitch. It just looks gorgeous. So makes gorgeous baby blankets, like I already mentioned, makes nice dishcloths. So many things you can do with a half double crochet. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Keep practicing and you'll get it in no time. And let's move on to lesson 3 and learn how to do the double crochet.